It's another Raw video from your favorite YouTube scout, Draft Raw Authentic. Yes, I am finally here making another video, and like I said, it's a Raw one, so there will be no edits now. Now. The Combine just happened, okay? It's Saturday night. Combine pretty much is over with. It's done with. We got official times in. Now, I always say I'm not a big stickler on Combine results, but certain results do tell you different things. Also, it makes you go back and try to look at a player that you may have skipped or you don't know about or that you saw, but you're saying, hold on, he ran that fast? Maybe I should go back and look at that. So, the wide receivers posted 40s today. Man, were they flying. I say at least about 6 to 7 guys ran 4.3 and better. This was a great 40 time class for these wide receivers. A wide receiver class that people were kind of down on. And a lot of these guys were a little bit faster than what people thought they would be. Some numbers that can be pointed out would be kind of mind-boggling because you would think one thing and it turned out to be completely different. So, as these 40 times come out, I said to myself, well, it's time for me to finally make my first video when it comes to scouting these players at the wide receiver position. So, with that being said, let's start off with the guy I think is the best receiver in this draft class, and that is Hakeem Butler. Hakeem Butler, he is one of those guys that, how can I explain this? He is a 6'5", 230-pound receiver that literally just ran a 4.48. Let me say that again. 6'5", 230 pounds, and he ran a 4.48. Now, DK Metcalf is 6'3", 230. He ran a 4.33. That's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. Sorry, I keep looking up because I'm watching TV as well. Some combine stuff. But when I watch Hakeem Butler on tape, I see the speed. Before I even made this video, I've been trying to tell people, like in my circle, that this guy was the best receiver in this draft class. And a lot of people may not believe me. But watch his highlights. You don't have to watch the tape. I watched the tape, okay? And I'm telling you right now, route running skills, ball tracking skills, hand speed, yak. And the most important thing that I think is for a receiver is toughness. Two things. Toughness being one. But ball adjustment catching. Guys that know how to adjust to the football. Guys that fight to snatch that football. Those are the most important things to me. And maybe him being 6'5" probably helps him out a lot. But I have to say, the simple fact is that the way he's able to go up there and get it. Yeah, like I said, he's 6'5". But you still have to have ball tracking skills. You still have to time your jumps. You still have to really fight for the ball. So with that being said, that's why I feel as though Hakeem Butler is the best receiver in this draft class. No, it's not DK Metcalf. Everybody likes DK Metcalf. And it's kind of crazy because people that just watch highlights or literally sit there and just listen to media scouts, they get a sense of, okay, who's supposed to be the best player. But how many times have media scouts burned you? How many times did you sat there and listen to a media scout say that, oh, this guy's the best receiver in this class, or this guy's the best player in his position in the draft class. And then all of a sudden, 3 years down the road, you find out like, yo, that dude was trash. How did they do this? A lot of times these guys, they look at potential and not production into potential. I look at production turned into potential. I just don't look at potential. So that's why when I look at Hakeem Butler, I know it's 1 year that he, did this, right? But you think about the years that he was there. Alan Lazar, or Laser, whatever you want to call him, he was the number one receiver for that team. He left last year, and Hakeem Butler became the number one receiver, and he proved that he could be a number one receiver. The yak yards is the most impressive thing about his game, because the simple fact is that he's able to catch a pass and then break tackles so easily. There's one highlight of a play, and I forgot what team he was playing, but he literally catches the ball down the field, and he breaks like 3 tackles, spins off of one, and runs it for the end zone. And the crazy thing is that that's not the only time he did that play. That he was breaking tackles like that. He did that at least twice last year. And that shows some type of ability of him being able to break tackles. And you see the consistency of him breaking tackles. So when it comes down to Hakeem Butler is not my number one guy. And he proved at the combine that he can still be the number one guy. I don't like doing player comparisons, but I do compare him to an AJ Green. Somebody said like a baby Randy Moss, a slower version of him. I wouldn't say that, but I'll definitely say AJ Green. He's a natural route runner, and he's got hands and he's got the speed. He's one of those guys that's going to be able to make plays in the game of football. There's no way he's going to bust. Even if let's say he's not a number one receiver in the NFL, he's definitely going to be a contributor to a team, point blank period. So that's all I can say. But he's my number one because I believe in his skills. Then let's go to my number 2 guy, and I'm not going to really try to go in like, my number 2, number 3, number 4. I'm going to just keep on just saying names. A.J. Brown, he ran a 4.49, faster than what people thought he would run. I actually personally thought he would run like a high 4.5s, maybe in the low 4.6s. You never know, but he ran a time that, I'm not too surprised when it comes to that time. I think a lot of people was kind of like, wow, 4.49. I wasn't that much surprised. I did think he would run a little bit slower because of, media scouts, they kind of get in your head a little bit. So you kind of get into your mindset of, A.J. Brown's probably slow. But when you do watch the tape, not to say he has 4.4 speed, but he's definitely pretty fast enough for the league. He does play a lot of slot. And that's more because DK Metcalf and DeMarcus Lawrence can't play slot receiver. So he can't be an outside receiver in that type of system that they were playing in. But A.J. Brown, when it comes to hands, he showed that he's got pretty good speed. When it comes to yak yards, when it comes to toughness, when it comes to ball adjustment, this guy got all the tools that you're looking for when it comes to a guy like him. So that's what I think about A.J. Brown. Then we're going to go to Miles Boykin. I love Miles Boykin. Miles Boykin is absolutely just an amazing receiver. I literally just watched tape of him before the draft, like the morning before not draft, but the morning before this combine. And you're talking about 4.42 speed. And it shows on tape. Same thing actually with him when it comes to Hakeem Butler. Now, the yak yards are not there. But the one thing that's actually kind of surpassed the yak yards is that he can run routes really, really well for a 6'5 guy. A 6'4 guy. He runs routes really, really well. And he's 220 pounds. He's a guy that made money at the combine. And I think he pushed himself up into a second-round choice. But that dude, he's something special. Now, we have a guy like Paris Campbell. I haven't done my homework on him yet. I will be coming back probably with a video after I do my homework. But I can just tell by a couple of stuff that I saw, he's definitely a pretty good player. And that 4.31, that's amazing for him. The question is that does that 4.31 translate onto the game tape that I will be watching a little bit later? So we'll get back to him. I will make a second video for the top wide receiver prospects. I just want to do this right now just because the combine just happened, and I did a couple of live videos. Then you have Jamal Custis from Syracuse. He's a 6'4" guy, 215 pounds, 4'5" guy, height, weight, speed type of specimen. Good, solid hands, solid route running. He's just a regular. He's a solid receiver. More likely like a number 2 receiver in the NFL. I wouldn't consider him like a number 1 ever, honestly. But he's still a pretty good receiver that he could be your your Marvin Jones to your AJ Green or Golden Tate. He could be that type of guy. So that's what I look at. He won't not play like Marvin Jones, but it's just an example that type of in terms of a receiver that he could be for a team, where he'll be good enough and he'll be get noticed enough and he'll be a really good contributor to a team, but he won't be that guy that you'll sit there and be like, okay, this is the guy, when it's fourth down, I'm throwing to him. No, that's not the guy that he is. But he's still, you can do it. But the trust factor that will be there, it's not like crazy, like, yeah, that's the guy I want to throw to. So then you got Kelvin Harmon. Now, Kelvin Harmon is one of my favorite receivers too. He's about almost 6'3". He's 220 pounds. He ran a 4.6 flat. Is actually a time that you expect him to run. Never thought he was that fast. I thought that he still had good enough speed, but his route running is the thing that actually separates him. It's not that he's the most perfect route runner and he literally like gets guys on roller skates and stuff like that, but he makes, with his route running, he makes enough space for himself to make big catches. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to a guy like him, is to be able to body position yourself to make the big catches for your team. And that's what I think that he can bring to a team. And the simple fact is that I believe he's a reliable go-to receiver that could be a number one for any team in the NFL. Then we could go to N'Keal Harry. Love this guy. He was listed at 6'4". Some people had 6'3". He's 6'2", and he's not even close to being 6'3". So it's a little disappointing that he's actually 1 to 2 inches shorter than his listed height. But he's 230 pounds, and he ran a 4.53. That is a very good time for N'Keal because people wondered about his actual speed. Now, what I can say about N'Keal Harry is that the simple fact is that people thought he would run in the 4.7s, but it's crazy because this is the type of dude that actually was having 50-yard runs. 50, 60, 70-yard catch and runs. Like, it was crazy. He was making so many big plays that it was, I don't even know. But it was absolutely amazing to see a guy like him make so many big plays, and he was such a big guy moving like that. And for him to run that 4.53 really gave us the answer to, okay, how is he making these big plays even though we think he's a 4.7 guy? Well, this is how, because he's not a 4.7 guy. He's a 4.5 guy. Then you have Andy Isabella. I did some work on him. You know, regular slot type of receiver, Wes Welker type guy. Deep threat type of dude. You know, it wasn't like anything crazy or special, but that 4.3 run is actually a really good time, and it shows you that, you know, how fast he is. And honestly, he really was that fast on tape. He really was 4.31 fast. Maybe not always 4.31, maybe definitely low 4.4s, but he shows that speed on tape, and it's very, very intriguing. I'm going to skip the combine star here, and I'm going to just go to these next three guys. Stanley Morgan Jr., 4.53. Kind of remind you of Kelvin Harmon a little bit. Kind of remind you of a couple of other guys that's in this draft. Solid, you know, guy with good hands, good route running. Nothing crazy about him. Solid yak type of guy. It's nothing like, you know, big time with him when it comes to him. But I can say that he is definitely a player that you can put on your team and be happy with him being like a third or fourth receiver on your team, even a second receiver if he develops into what he could be. So then you have Riley Ridley, one of my favorite receivers, probably one of the most toughest receivers and the best run after catch receivers, yak receivers in this draft. That 4.58 was a little bit disappointing because I thought he was a little bit faster than that, but I think that I haven't looked at his other numbers like the cone drills or the shuffle drills or anything like that. But if it's any indication, his acceleration is probably his best attribute, and that's why his 40 time being a 4.58 is alarming. But if that shuttle time or the 3 cone drill shows me his acceleration and quickness, and it's you know, way better than a lot of other guys that probably ran 4.4s and 4.3s, then what it says is that he has that quick step. That quick burst is a little bit faster than his actual straight line speed. Reminded me of Another guy that's actually like that, Lamar Jackson, whose first quick step is actually faster than straight line speed, even though Lamar Jackson still got 4.3 speed. But his acceleration is faster than what that 4.3 speed will be. Then you have Deebo Samuel 4.48. I wasn't the hugest fan of Deebo for what I saw. For what I wrote about Deebo, what I wrote about him. Doesn't really run the route tree. He was tough and physical, slot receiver. Nothing crazy about him. Just a solid receiver. I thought that maybe he would remind me of DK Metcalf. I mean, I'm sorry. His name just popped up on the thing. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say DK Metcalf. I thought he would remind me of of DJ Moore from last year. So that's what I was thinking of. DJ. I was thinking of that. So I thought he would remind me of that. And then last but not least, DK Metcalf. I'm not the hugest fan of DK, but that 4.33 is still impressive. He won the combine with that. 6'3", 230 pounds. Absolute freak of nature. 27 reps on the bench. 40.5 vertical inch, over 11 I think broad and stuff like that. So I mean he's still a pretty. It's the freakish numbers. The question that will be about him is that is he a natural receiver, and that's I'm not biggest fan when it comes to him when it comes to saying is he a natural type of receiver. This is a guy that can make a living off of being a deep threat guy for his size and everything. But for being that number one type of receiver, I don't know if that's going to be him. So that's what I look at when I see a DK Metcalf. But overall, I just wanted to give some names out there of some players that I actually did watch and the 40 times that they had, which were pretty good. Out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys that I already named that I watched on tape. I watched a couple of other guys, but some of these guys didn't even run at the combine. Tyree Brady, where were you? JJ Arcega-Whiteside, where were you? Tyree, you did the field drill, so I don't know why you didn't run the 40. Greg Dortch, I don't understand that. Maybe he was hurt. I didn't hear anything about that. Who else didn't run it? Antoine Wesley, very disappointed. Didn't run the 40-yard dash. Really wanted to see him. He would have jumped up draft boards if he would have ran the 40-yard dash, and it would have been good. Because that guy is absolutely amazing. But anyway, that was just a little quick thing. Like I said, I'm going to make another video where I can break down these guys a little bit more. So if it's your first time watching, please comment, please rate, please subscribe, please share this video so other people can see it and I can get more subscribers. We can build a draft community. Once again, this is Draft Raw Authentic. I thank you for watching. Goodbye.